Hello and welcome to a very special episode of The Winning Post. I'm Mohit Lalvani and welcoming you. Well, I'm in conversation with the Lagads, and this is a couple I would have to say that in a sense has defined the sport of racing. And I mean, we'll talk. Shaherbanoo, I'm going to start right away with you. You're right next to me. Look, let's talk about your earliest memories.
Earliest memories were more than 30 years ago. And racing was beautiful then. It was really beautiful. It was different, It's not too bad now. It was something else at that time. We had Rajas, Maharajas, Nawabs, industrialists, people dressed up for the races. Everyone was so formally dressed. Ladies, I remember an incident when a lady changed her sari twice in the day because she led in two winners. It was a Maharani. Can you believe it? We used to wear chiffons and our diamonds compared to how we dress up now.
Well, Naren, let's go back right to the beginning. Your decision to become a trainer. This isn't a road that's easily walked. It's not tried and tested. And, every parent has ambitions. I want my son to be a doctor. I want my son to be an engineer, And yet, I know from my own experience how gratifying something like this can be.
Absolutely.
How did it all begin for you?
Right from the time I was born right here in where these surroundings that you see, and my bungalow's got only stables. I think I must have been 5 or 6 years old when I just wanted to do one thing, be a horse trainer. It was my uncle, the legendary Major Jadhav, Bal Lagad, all the families, the conversations at the table, dining table used to be all around horses, jockeys, all that, and surrounded by top trainers like Aziz Mohammed, ALJ Talib. They were all would come home. Seeing all these people, the only dream I had in my life was to become a trainer, and I said I'll never become anything else.
No, but you were trained to be a chartered accountant.
Yeah,
He was, Mohit.
My family told me that first you have to get your degree and then you can become a trainer. So I just did it for getting the license.
How did the two of you meet?
Oh, he was training our horses. My father selected him. He said he's a young, upcoming trainer. Let's give him a break. So we gave him our horses in 1981. And that's how we met.
No, I'd rather add something to that. And I was her best friend, confidant, and whichever proposal she got, I would help her in knocking them out. So make place for myself.
No, Mohit. He's lying. He was never in contention. No way.
No, really, that's the truth.
Well, he kept himself in contention.
I suppose so. Because in those days, in the late 70s and early 80s, in families like ours, we used to get proposals. The boy and girl would never meet. The photograph would be sent, the biodata would be sent. So we had to go through all that. And that's the time we would consult Naren and say, Naren, what do you think of this boy? And what do you think of that boy? And he would keep on finding flaws in them.
So at what stage did you realize that, why am I looking further than beyond my nose? Naren is right here.
At that time, I didn't realize it was sabotage. I didn't.
Now you're coming out with the
I
truth.
just thought he's, being very kind and being very helpful. Then 10 years after I met him, I realized what a good human being he is. And he's better than most of the people I know.
Okay, let's talk about the horses. Let's go back right to the beginning. How difficult was it to get a start in life?
Yeah, very difficult. First 10 years was so bad. I was just recently looking at my record for the first 10 years. After first 10 years, I'd almost packed up because I thought there's no sense hanging around here. All my hard work and all would be going down the drain. And then I got my break.
I came with Mr. Ravi Ghai. Yeah, when Mr. Ravi Ghai joined the stables.
I was sitting in the stables crying that I'm not getting any horses. So he said, why are you crying? I said, sir, I work very hard from morning to night. And he said, Naren, stop working so hard. The man at the station, the porter, makes the same sort of 10 rupees when he works from morning to night. Work with your brains and not physically. And I think that went a long way for me in my life.
Look back at some of the horses that, everybody has milestones. There are defining moments in every professional's life. Name some of the horses that were those signposts, the milestones, those defining moments.
Definitely. My first one I would say was Inflammable, who ran third in the Indian Derby. We all thought he was a sprinter till we tried him out over a trip and he ran the Derby and it was very thrilling. We had bought him for a very small price from Maharaja Idar, and he was an inbred horse to Malvado. And everyone said, Naren, you have no chance with this horse. Second horse also was the same, Panorama, who won me the first Astonished Million. Again, what a very small purchase. Did very well for me. The many horses, Keep Your Distance, Mariana, Belle Etoile, Agni, who broke the track record, then came Rising Flame. She was the track record holder.
Rising Flame and Timeless Beauty.
Timeless Beauty then lost the 2000 to indictment by a short head. So those were all my earlier horses which were doing very well. And I had some very good patrons at that time.
And then there was Starshine.
That is after
Starshine,
that.
owned by Shapur. Shapur Mistri owned that, and that horse did very well.
Towards the latter part of, I think, 2000, I think came Royal Deeds.
So, Naren, clearly, you said the first 10 years was very hard, and then, a simple conversation changed the face of how you approached everything.
That's right. Perfect.
Now, they say, and I, for one, certainly have no option but to believe it, behind every successful man is a woman.
Absolutely.
Your thoughts?
She not only has helped me, her knowledge on pedigrees is far superior than mine.
No.
And she has always pushed me in the right direction to get the right kind of horses, to how the whole stable runs today has all been organized by her. She has got the trust of the staff. They are very loyal to us. They've been with us for many, many years, from some of them as long as 30 years back. So they've all worked very loyally, all thanks to her, because she looks
No,
after
they
all
all
of them.
treat me. See, I'm like a mother to all of them. I know their families, I know their children, I know when they get married, when they have their children, what are their problems. They come to me with all that. So I just treat them like extended family. It's as simple as that.
And as far as the horses go, surely you must love them.
I love them all. There's no doubt about it, because I think I'm bred to love horses. It runs in the blood. When I take you home, I'll show you the pictures. My grandfather was one of the best horsemen in the country. I'll show you a picture of his on horseback. You'll understand them. So this love was there, and I don't know, I think horses talk to me. I do understand them, and I do have conversations with them. People might think I'm an eccentric or I'm mad. But that's how it is.
But it's long hours, it's challenging hours, isn't it? I mean, the life at a racetrack can be very challenging, can't it?
It is, but not for me. I'm a late riser. I never get up. I don't go in the morning. That's my husband. You see, I always joke. He wakes up so early and I wake up late. So he's the lark and I'm the owl. Those who wake up early are called the larks, and people like us who are late risers are owls.
Well, that's fantastic, I'll tell you. So basically, between the two of them, they've got the full 24 hours covered for sure. No question about it. He's up early, she's up late. 24 hours covered. We'll take a short break here on the Winning Post. We'll come back. We'll come and talk more about the horses, some of the tricks of the trade, and also about what life for the Lagads are outside the race course. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Winning Post, and I'm in conversation with the Lagads. If you've just joined us, we were talking about how it all began for Narendra and Shaherbanoo, how they met, how the horses came into their lives, and, well, some of the early challenges. So, Narendra, I'm going to come right to you. Now, we talked about how one conversation changed everything for you. But let's talk about some specific moments that you can remember, specific winners, not just horses, but specific days at the track that, I know what it's like to cheer a winner home, and, sometimes it's a class 5 horse that has been a challenge for you. But yet, at times, there are those moments that will always stand out a little more than others.
You just hit the nail on the head. that horse is one horse I'll never forget in my life. I was a very young and struggling trainer, and I was standing outside the Manjri ring hoping I'd get someone who'd give me a horse. Nobody gives horses to young trainers. Suddenly was this gentleman called Prakash Raut, very well-known owner of Mr. Basin Chennai, came to me. He said, "Are you Mr. Lagad and would like to train a horse?" I didn't even look at what horse he was giving. I said, "Yes, yes, of course I would." And I took the horse from the ring itself. We don't take it to the stables. And I took B. Prakash's father, P.S. Bhosle, was there. So we took him to the stable, did puja and all, and took the horse in. After 5 minutes, it dawned on me, the horse was a total dip back. When he would walk, his front legs would hit each other. He used to wobble from the back. I said, "What have I hit myself?" He was by disclose out of innocence. I didn't know what, I thought this was trouble now. My elder brother, Bal Lagad, was right next door. And he said, "Naren, train this horse as you train a normal horse. And all the best. Don't think of his deformities." And I trained him, and as luck would have it, he won the first baby race of Pune with Star of Babylon, and the kinds of those horses all went to class 1. That owner came in the evening and gifted me the horse. It was so happy. He named it Challenge. Because a trainer told him, "It's a challenge if this horse will ever see the track." So I got this horse from him, and that horse kept on winning. Ultimately, I just looked up his total. He had earned about 20 odd lakhs in those days.
Can you believe it? And that horse gave Naren the courage and the confidence to take on rejected, discarded horses and make them win.
So let's talk about these tricks of the trade. Now, I mean, I'll tell you from experience, I had a filly who I couldn't get into the gates. 3 months after Naren had her, I'm sitting in the stands watching her. Yeah, and she just walks into the gate. So, without being specific to this example, Naren, what is the message you can send out to young trainers? What are some of the things that you've learned from your experiences?
Very simple, observation. Just keep looking at the horse. A message will come to you from them. What is their problem? Just looking at their habits, you will find your answer there. The aches and pains, you have to learn. You have to be a part Ayurvedic doctor, part homeopath, part allopath. And use the skills of the top doctors. But there are many things which they can't handle. You have to handle day to day yourself.
Now, that's an interesting thing you say, because as a trainer, it's a little different from being a jockey, because a jockey rides your horse in the morning, he'll then go home and he's back on at race time. But you have to know something about everything, whether it's saddlery, whether it's shoeing, whether it's the well-being of a horse. You need to study a blood picture. You need to know
The feed.
now
The right feed.
exactly. So what are the ingredients? How would you, as a trainer, say are the important components of putting this entire package together?
See, as far as you must have knowledge of medicine. You have to go along with your vet, give him inputs. No vet will work to his best unless you participate with him. Apart from that, your day-to-day problems, you can't call a vet for everything. You have to read, find Ayurvedic methods, other methods to set your horse right. There's no one going to help you there. You have to find your own system for your own stable. Me telling you what to do is not going to help. Each one has his own ideas. There are lapes in the market, there are medicines there which are allowed legally, so you can use them all. Use combinations, and apart from it all, the feed. The feed is most important because it has changed so much from the 1980s till today. We used to have a protein-rich feed. Today it's a carbo-loaded feed because you need high energy.
So,
It would be unfair for me to ask him this question, so I'm going to pose it to you. It's, every day is a learning process. What do you believe is something that Naren still has to learn?
Oh, he has to learn to aim for the best horses. He can get them, but he has this at the back of his mind that the smaller owner needs a trainer like him. Because there are lots of small owners who feel very comfortable with him. He buys them a horse for a very small price, he trains it well, and he takes that horse to class 1. Now he spends most of his time doing that, whereas he could have half of those ordinary horses and go for superior horses. I've been telling him that year after year, but he says he loves to be the small owner's trainer.
Well, in a sense, that's also reducing risk for an owner, isn't it, Naren?
Absolutely. I still don't believe the very high prices we pay for horses. Because I don't think most of it is recoverable. I've seen statistics over the years, and I've seen that most of this money goes down. So unless you give the owner a reasonably priced horse which he can enjoy, they really don't enjoy it. They're trying to chase the investment all the time.
And that's a problem.
Yeah, and then the pressure comes on. So you'd rather buy a horse which is reasonably priced, within their comfortable, charge them a reasonable amount, not make it so exorbitant that they can't, they'd want to leave the game and run away. And we must strive to get more and more people into the game. And I've been doing that now. I've been getting a high number of owners into this game.
Well, I mean, looking around you, we were talking just before we began this interview. Apart from the fact that this stable and place is absolutely beautiful, but you actually have 70 horses here right now.
Yeah, 70 right here, yeah.
That's astonishing.
It's very big, but
This is a beautiful stable over 2 acres, Mohit. It can accommodate all these horses.
this is only possible because I've got a staff which is about 30 years old. The backup staff is too good. I mean, I barely have to move out from here to do anything.
Well, you make a valid point, because at the end of the day, we have our own successes, but we realize that these successes would not be possible without the team that we have.
Absolutely.
Precisely. Absolutely.
They are the very foundation here.
Well, they certainly are the very foundation. We'll take a short break right here on the Winning Post. We're in conversation with the Lagads. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Winning Post, and if you're just joining me, let me tell you it's to your detriment, because you've missed already an important part of a conversation that I'm having with the Lagads here in Pune at their stable. Well, let's move right along. Life outside the race course. Naren, what is it for you? What are some of the things you enjoy doing outside the race course?
I'll tell you very frankly, when I was much younger, of course, socializing with the owners, meeting them, trying to get new owners into the stable. But today it revolves entirely around my grandson and the time I spend with him. It's from here to home and with him. That's all.
That's our little baby Aryavir. He is technically not our grandson. He's Naren's elder brother's grandson. Vinay is his nephew, Vinay Lagad. This is Vinay's son. And he's the pride and joy of our lives. We are a staid, middle-aged, old couple. So we are happier sitting at home, playing with our grandchild, watching good programs on television, reading good books. Naren does not believe in late nights. He never did, because he feels a trainer has to have a very sharp mind in the morning when he goes to work.
Well, I'll tell you, you certainly don't look old. You certainly defy anything you've just said. But let's talk about some of the TV shows you like, some of the movies you like. What type of films do you like?
I love Bhag Milkha Bhag. That was one of the best Hindi movies I've seen. Have you seen it? It's beautiful. I strongly recommend it.
And you, Naren?
Only historicals.
So you like...
Both of us, we love
Same.
his. Now
So
we
you
are
like
watching
National
Jodha.
Geographic,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
You know, so-
And then we are watching one Hindi serial, Jodha Akbar.
Well, that's a beautiful story, isn't it? When
We
you...
can't relate to it. We do. The Hindu-Muslim marriage. We do. And there's something even more interesting there. There's one person, Khane Khana, that is my direct ancestor.
Let's come back to racing for a moment. You've been around for many years and you've seen how this sport has changed. Shaherbanoo, you mentioned right at the top of this interview that, well, it isn't the same. Whichever way you look at it, it's a sport that, for purists, I think, such as us, has been bastardized, but yet you can't stop the march of technology. You can't stop the march of modernization, and it's going to happen not just with the horses and everything around you, but with a mindset as well. In your mind's eye, what are some of the things that you wish you could go back to?
Some of the best was probably the old feed, which was so natural and so nice. The horses would
Did they look better? Were
They
their
looked
coats
much better. They were much stronger. They would give you their best for many years. Now I find the span is very short.
Also, there's a lot of pressure,
Pressure
early in their lives,
we
isn't
start
it?
the millions, and when the millions start again, you got pressure on you to run them into the millions. I thought we had more leisurely. We used to have lots of workers around. The boys used to be there. We used to have one full man and a younger boy working on each horse. So they used to get proper massage, and it was a great fun. It was a royal sport.
Naren, you've been known for really bringing up some excellent apprentice riders. You know, you've been a great master to many, many such young boys. What's the secret to that?
I think I have trained the highest number of apprentices till date. I think every year I picked up one boy, and the best way to teach them is to give them a little free hand and just keep telling them where they're going wrong a little bit. Not interfere too much, because all the boys are hardworking. They're watching films. You have to just tell them where they're going wrong, or maybe send them to a boy like Pacey, who's very good to guide, give them finishing touches. That's it. You don't do much to them.
And Sherbanu, I'm sure at
I
your
would take
level.
them home. I would take them home, show them the films, show them the mistakes they made. We had a boy, Sunny Chinoy, who was very, very promising about 10, 12 years ago.
Very talented,
Very
wasn't he?
talented, very talented. So when he rode his first race, he came miles wide and he didn't realize it. So I got him home, I showed him the film, he realized. And then the very next week, he just had a treble.
Well, okay, now let's, Naren mentioned, you obviously study your pedigrees, it's something you possibly enjoy as well. Breeding industry has changed drastically, hasn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely, Mohit. Even in India, we are getting better stallions, I feel. Look at the blood that is coming here. Look at the mares. We've recently bought some two very good, two quarter broads.
For you, is it confirmation or is it pedigree?
Both. Both. Confirmation, basics have to be there. And pedigree also is very important.
Okay, now Naren, talking about pedigree, talking about confirmation, do you have a propensity, everybody has a specialization, and of course, you've probably heard this, it's probably not the first time you're saying this. Do you have a propensity to buy faster horses?
Yeah.
Definitely.
The shapes I normally go for are the types which are very short-coupled horses, round quarters, big chest, typical of a good sprinter. But the funny part of the thing is, I've produced Steers Cup winner, the Suresh Mahendra, that Baikala Cup, all these. I've had Native Knight, before that I had that Masiha, all the long distance horses. My big races are all with those horses.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm glad you mentioned it, because Native been such an amazing horse, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Tell us about him as an individual. He can win a 5 furlong, he can win a 2 furlong, he can win a 20 furlong race. What's this?
Mohit, this horse is her baby, her son. Let her talk about him.
He is a human being, Mohit. You have to see him to understand what Native Knight is. You just check with the riders who've ridden him. And I always tell them, try not to whip him. He understands. He is so intelligent. He's so intelligent. The other day, we had clipped him. Then after clipping, he gets a little rash after that. So we had to apply haldi on that. And he was so embarrassed about it. He was standing here with the haldi. And as I came close to him to touch him, he said, "Don't touch me, your hands will get dirty." He literally told me that. He's so intelligent.
And for the longest time, he was, without question, not just in Western India, but by far the best maiden that was in training. So when he won his first race, what was going through your mind?
Oh my God. No, we were confident because Naren had just put the hood on him. And he was quite strong. And he told everyone the horse will win today. So we expected him to win, but we were overjoyed.
Just unlucky he was born in the year of Jacqueline
Of those two
and
giants.
Beckett.
I must tell you that all of us here at the Winning Post wish you all the success, lesser challenges, and more Native Knights.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Mohit.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in a week's time. Goodbye.